Well, hello and welcome to another edition of Making Life Changes Urban Gardening video. It is officially winter here in Houston, Texas, Zone 9A. We had our first real freeze as temperatures dipped below the freezing point last night and are supposed to be in the low 30s all week. We actually have seen snow just north of here in Conroe and Huntsville area, and so this is the time that we really have to protect our fragile plants that love the warmer temperatures, particularly our pepper plants, from green bell peppers, yellow bell peppers, red bell peppers, maybe traditional habaneros, red hot Caribbeans, or even multicolored miniature habaneros. Whatever your pepper addiction, there's no bigger disappointment than growing a beautiful pepper plant only to have it die in the winter and have it start all over again next spring. Know exactly how you feel. I got some pepper plants that have been alive for years, and it's either a battle of going in and having to cover them up to get them ready for a winter, and you have to come out every time it freezes or actually gets really below 45. Pepper plants really can't tolerate temperatures below 45 degrees. They start dying, and freezing will kill them. So you either got to come out like I did and put this cover on your pepper plant every time it freezes, or you can take another route and you can dig your pepper plant up, put it in a smaller pot, and I'm going to show you how to winterize your pepper plant so you can keep them alive not just through the winter but over and over again. This is a great way to get a jump start on the season next year and increase your length of production period for your plant, producing even higher yields. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you on how to winter your pepper plants and keep your pepper plants alive year after year after year. But before I do, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and that bell so you don't miss any of our updates. Also, if you are interested in healthy recipes, scripture verses of the day, planting tips, gardening tips, visit us on Instagram at Making Life Changes and follow us on our Facebook feed at Making Life Changes Ministries. Okay, I want to start off by saying if you plan on overwintering pepper plants, you got to realize that doing this will keep the plant alive, but it will not produce fruit. In order to produce fruit, peppers need a certain temperature and amount of light that the average house in the winter cannot provide. If you want to grow peppers for fruit in the winter, you will need to do so in a greenhouse with supplemental light. The first step for how to keep peppers over winter is to bring them indoors. So if you have pepper plants growing directly in the ground, you'll need to dig them up and transplant them into a smaller pot. And if you're already growing in a pot, you can just bring them inside. Okay, the first thing you need to do is remove all the fruit on the plant. You don't need any energy going into fruit production right now. And so any peppers that are on it, go ahead and prune it. And the next thing I'm going to show you really upsets a lot of growers. Some people are really squeamish and they're afraid to do this, but this is absolutely necessary to your plant and must be done. Go around the plant and you're going to start pruning back all your big major branches right past the V. You want to cut the plant down and remove it by about 90%. I know that scares a lot of growers, but this is essential to keep the pepper plant alive through the winter. You don't need any major growth. Everything is going into the roots and keeping the plant alive through the dormant months. So just work yourself around the plant, taking off big stems. You can cut down right past right on top of the V's if you see in some cases where it splits. And you can even take off the lower limbs and some of the smaller limbs. Cut it down just like that so that you have just a few leaves and a few branches left, and that's going to keep it live all through the winter. The pepper plant will grow new branches in the spring, so don't worry. Next step is to find a cool, dry location to store the pepper plant. Somewhere that remains around 55 degrees. An attached garage or a basement is ideal. For pepper winter care, the pepper plant won't need much light, so near a window or near a lamp with a fluorescent bulb will be enough light in these locations. Once you've placed the pepper plant in this location, cut back the watering. When you're keeping peppers over the winter, you'll find that they need far less water than in the summer. You only need to water the plant once every 3 to 4 weeks until spring. Don't let the soil stay soaked, but also don't let it dry out completely. And to finish your pepper winter care, about a month before your last frost date, bring your pepper plant out of the cool location and move it to a brighter, warmer location. You may even want to use a heating pad under the pot to add additional heat. Resume watering, but make sure not to overwater the pepper plant. In a week or so, you should see some new growth appear. That being said, even if you correctly follow all the steps that I went over here for how to keep your peppers alive over the winter, you may find that your pepper plant doesn't survive. When overwintering pepper plants, some varieties will do better than others. But when keeping peppers over the winter works, you will be guaranteed a bumper crop of your favorite peppers.